Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the April 2023 Citizen Climate Advisory Committee Board meeting. And John is not able to be here tonight. Send your good thoughts his way. He's, yeah, just think about him. We'll get an update from him. He's okay, but yeah, he has a procedure this evening. So think about him, make sure. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers, please. And so looks like we will not have a quorum for voting tonight, but we'll do the call to order at 6:04 and in attendance. Let me just go through.
Everybody say their name.
Yeah.
So James Fulton.
Danny Cucciara.
Nathan Fox.
And Jennison Kip Cersei. And we have staff in attendance. So I think we can go through our approval of I'm going to call for an approval of the agenda that we have before us before we can't officially approve the meeting minutes from last month, but we can approve the agenda for this evening and ask if anyone has anything they need to add or would like to add to the agenda.
And Jackie and Terry, you are active participants.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Jackie and Terry. Didn't mean to leave you out.
Present.
Good to see you.
And I'm also present
Great.
Okay.
from New York, live from New York.
Hey, it's Monday, don't
Glad you could join us. So, does anyone do we have to move to approve the agenda since we're not?
No, unless anyone
since
has
we're
any
not,
objections.
yeah, does anyone have any additions or objections to the agenda for this evening?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. A second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. I see a thumbs up from Terry and a smile from Jackie. Yes, thumbs up. Excellent. Okay. So the first or third item on the agenda after the approval of the agenda is a review and approval of the minutes from the March 2023 regular meeting. So did everyone have a chance to review those from when Stephen sent them out? Anything substantive or timely that's missing that we need to include? No,
in here, I don't know.
And we'll just skip on the motion.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then let's continue. And the fourth item on the agenda, we have a continuation of discussing the tasks and responsibilities of the CCAC members to meet our committee goals for fiscal year 23 and our local climate partnerships. So Steve reminded us and reminded me that we did have a detailed review in the meeting notes from, when was this? From January. We had walked through and looked at who had signed up and, offered to serve as a liaison with various groups doing climate action in the community. So we could come back to that, but perhaps first I want to give members in attendance the opportunity to provide any updates on your any updates since our last meeting on activities with any of the local groups and the liaison work that you've been doing leading up to the climate action. What are we calling it? The Climate Action
Fair.
Summit, the Climate Summit Fair event.
I think we took the
We
word.
have a lot of words, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just
The
climate fair now.
Climate
Yeah.
Fair, yes, on June 2nd. So, okay.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I've
Nathan?
contacted the Marjorie, which is like a journalistic publication. They seem on board, they want more details, which I sent them. Nothing so far, but we'll see. They seem interested. Sunrise Movement, same way. They like to be contacted via Instagram, so we've been sending messages to each other and they seem on board. They just need more details specifically, which I gave them, so we're sort of waiting. And then Sustainable Santa Fe, I've had a hard time contacting them. And to my desk, sent many different messages to different emails and waiting. That's where I'm at.
Okay,
Mhm.
if I can help with that,
That'd be great.
that would be wonderful.
If you know,
But
is it
yeah,
Miss like, Fuentes?
Fuentes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She's just nothing.
I mean, I don't know her personally, but my husband works at Santa Fe and knows
Perfect.
them,
That'd be
so,
great.
maybe
You wanna
we
pick
can
that
share
up?
that with Stephen, and then I can,
Yeah, I'll send
or
all the
the
emails.
correspondence
to
you've
Tina.
had, and I could follow up. I'd be happy to do
Perfect.
that. Excellent, thank you. Oh, question about Marjorie, the Marjorie.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is there a chance they might do some publicity or possibly write an article leading up to the fair?
that's a really good idea. That's interesting. I didn't have that.
Get it
idea.
out in the
You did
media.
right now. That's a good
Yeah.
idea, though. I should
They've
ask.
done some great,
Yeah, they've done some
local
really good
coverage,
pieces. I've
yeah.
seen them.
yeah.
Cool, yeah, I'm certainly happy to send them an inquiry about that specifically.
Cool. Yeah, I figure the more we can get it on people's
Yeah,
radar.
and we'll
leading
talk
up.
about this as the next item and give you more.
That's a
updates,
good
but
idea.
Okay.
We'll try to get them information more that will relate to, the information you're being asked.
Okay.
Question. So we have the NAACP Climate Summit event on May 27th. That's not connected to the Climate Fair event.
No,
I'm so confused.
Not formally, but Jackie is on the agenda to
Go
give us
ahead,
that
Jackie,
update.
you should be able to unmute.
Yeah, I was planning on I'm further down on the agenda to report on that. And I will let you know what's going on with that, but, it's going to be postponed. I have contacted quite a few groups, about that, and also told them about the June 2nd event. So I'll talk about that more when I come up on the agenda. Okay.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie.
So I had 3 or maybe 4 people I was assigned to, and in January I was on top of that. I had emailed everybody several times, and I had actually heard back from a few of them, and then I got laid off from my job and everything slipped off my plate, and then I had to move, and it was a harrowing month to get into this other place. And we just got settled in, so I will jump back on it right
Life
away.
happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will be right back on top of
But
it.
you're here in town
Yes.
still.
And I'm gonna stay. I hope.
Excellent.
I hope.
Yay. Good, good.
I hope.
Wonderful.
So yeah, I will jump this week. I will start getting back in touch with those people and apologize profusely for dropping off the map.
So when I'm on the tennis
Oh, you're-
court,
you're the-
I'm a habitual apologizer. With every single shot I miss, and I'm trying to break that, and I feel like on behalf of John, he would probably say the same thing, like, don't apologize. We're an advisory committee, and we know this is on top of everything else in your life. So just thank you for jumping back on it, and we're glad that you're able to
Yeah.
stay. Yeah. All right. Okay. James, do you have any updates you want to
I
share?
am sorry to say no.
That's okay,
I-
don't apologize.
Yeah.
This is intense.
Okay, yeah, I will make some calls this week. I will reach out this week.
Okay,
Unfortunately, I lost my email address when I lost my job, and all of the email
Oh
addresses, so I'm
my
gonna have to
gosh.
start from scratch.
make sure you get your new one, if Steve.
I created my own Outlook now, so it's mine.
Yeah, I don't know if you need me to resend the list. can at least
I
do
do.
that. Okay.
Please do, because I was
Yeah.
just gonna search for it through the resources.
Oh, no, I can resend that.
And
Thank you so
access
much.
To the drive also,
Thank
because
you.
it may not, yeah.
I
Make
am.
sure you-
Here.
Perry, would you like to share any updates?
Yeah, I don't have much to share and I'm frustrated as hell because I can't find my notes. Ah,
Oh, no.
I made a couple of initial inquiries of a couple groups that I had volunteered for and I hadn't heard anything back. So I'm gonna also kick this into higher gear this week. I just can't find, I seem to have misplaced the spreadsheet that had. Okay, well, shit.
Well, excuse you.
I would have to-
Um, I was shoot and.
No, it wasn't shoot. It wasn't shoot at all. Yeah, but it's here somewhere. And when I can find it, I'll dig it out. If I can find it.
Well,
I sent a couple of emails, got nothing back. I sent emails to the places I didn't know anybody at, but I had volunteered to sort of pick up and didn't hear anything back. So I'm going to try again. I will. I've been
Okay.
bad. It's been it's been a very difficult month for a number of reasons, but okay. That's my responsibility.
to hear that, but yes, don't apologize. And I also, before the meeting started, was telling Steve that I couldn't locate the spreadsheet. I was trying to find it and I'm sure I could find it if I had more time, but I didn't find it before tonight. So we'll make sure we get that link,
We send that out to April.
direct, the
great.
direct link.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd already checked off the ones that I was okay, it doesn't matter.
No, it's okay.
I'll look in my notes. I'll look in my notes.
You can update the spreadsheet accordingly.
Ah,
All right. Jackie, do you want me to share, or Adam, did you have any updates? Adam's with us
Taylor, no.
also. We do have 7.
And Adam, you muted if you're speaking.
Hey y'all, just listening in. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
I'll be probably muted most of the time, but I'll be listening.
Okay. And I'll share an update and then pass it on to Jackie. Well, yeah, Jackie, for you to provide updates specific to action items for the June 2nd event, if that's okay, before we go on to the item number 5. Well, yeah. And then we'll come back to you with respect to the May 27th event, Jackie, but I have not done formal outreach, but some of the organizations, I'm on the board of the Community Weatherization Coalition. And Adam, I know you had you shared information from CWC about events that are going on. And I wanted to just let you all know it's related. So for those of you who aren't aware, this Thursday is the Amazing Give. And so it's a day throughout the year of, fundraising for local nonprofit organizations. And I think there are about 80 different nonprofits who participate in the event. It's from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And so it's an opportunity to give to a good cause for local organizations. And the Community Weatherization Coalition is going to be organizing all day for that. And we're hosting, I can't attend it in person, but we're hosting a wrap party at First Magnitude, one of our former members, from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And they are being generous enough that if you donate $10 to CWC at the event, you'll get a bracelet for $1 off beers for the evening. So
Nice.
anyway, so we're gonna,
Thursday?
that's this Thursday. This just kind of came into being. We were trying to find something fun to celebrate that day. Well, throughout the year, they're always working hard to raise funds, but this is the biggest day that they have for raising funds to support all of their operations, and they do low income. I mean, I think you're all familiar with CWC and the work they do.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
they do really important work in our community. And if you're concerned about equity, especially, which I know we all are, it's a great group to support. So go to First Magnitude and have a delicious beverage. And I believe that's good for non-alcoholic beverages as well.
When did you say that was?
wine.
Sure.
So it's from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And I will forward a social media announcement about the event to
And it's Thursday?
Steve, so you can share it. Spread the word to friends and family. It's usually fairly we've been told it's not that busy on Thursday evenings typically. And
Right.
we're trying to line up a musician also, or a band or something, so it should be fun.
You said it's a rap party?
Oh, not RAP, it's a WRAP
Oh.
party, although that'd be sweet if we.
Wow. That is an entirely different
We
thing.
should have like a competition,
Yeah.
like an improv rap
Oh my
party.
God.
It's
They're
such a
like, we're
good
gonna
idea.
hire a band, and I was like, wait,
We could,
is it rap karaoke? Or?
it's still coming together, so we could always make it an improv wrap party and, you know, Christine was she was a member of this committee, Christine Denny, the owner, during COVID, and she was always like, well, we could gather at First Magnitude potentially to be in person outside, but anyway, so that's an announcement, and there are a lot of other nonprofits that day, the Amazing Give, I would just say, spread the word about the Amazing Give on Thursday, and I'll share the social media. And then I'm making them aware in terms of CWC and the advisory board, that, you know, communicating with them about the June. I've already communicated with them at our last advisory board meeting, and I think they're aware of it, but that's the main update I have. Well, actually, I have one other. I don't know how, well, tomorrow, we are, so, okay, this is related to climate locally for sure. So related to CWC, a few years back, we started an initiative that was a IFAS Strategic Advisory Committee to the working with IFAS Extension on energy equity work around the state, and trying to really push to build an energy extension program that could be replicated based off the CWC model. And so we have 29 counties, like faculty from 29 counties around the state involved, and we were nominated for a Champions for Change award at the university, and we got it. So tomorrow they're going to be giving this team of ours, and it's in partnership with Florida A&M University and the Office of Sustainability. And we're hoping it's a step toward getting some, you know, like commitment from the university, and we're trying to get people and positions in place to help us replicate models like that to address climate action and equity around the state. So that's pretty cool. And we should have some press about it, but, and CWC is part of our team. So,
That's great.
they'll be there tomorrow. So that's pretty cool. Some good news. It's good to share some good news now and then, right? Yeah, so lots going on. All right. Jackie, you want to share any updates you have related to planning?
The spreadsheet?
Yes.
Yeah, I did contact people back, I don't know, in January, and I sent Danny, were you going to keep making some kind of way to keep track of them?
Oh, yes, I was.
Okay, so I did write
can
up
do
a
that
little thing
Excel.
about it, which I sent to Stephen, and I probably still have it in my file, and I can send it to Stephen again for you. And then recently I've contacted many of the groups on the spreadsheet related to the May 27th event. Should I just go ahead and talk about it now, or do you want me to wait until after you talk?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
I see a nodding heads, no objection.
Yeah, so the ECJ, it's the Alachua NAACP Environmental Climate Justice Committee, which we call the ECJC, is planning this event. And today we met and they decided to postpone the event until September or sometime in the fall. So just so you know, and you know, I sent you a flyer about it via Stephen. Clearly that was premature. Adam registered. Thank you, Adam. But I'm sorry that we're going to be having to postpone it. So I just want to let you know that that event has been postponed. Now, prior to postponing it, I did contact quite a few groups from the spreadsheet to tell them about both the May 27th event and the June 2nd event. I got 12 groups. They're all, you know, from that spreadsheet, 12 of them that said they would like to help promote the event by sending the digital flyer to their email lists. And then I have 6 groups that said they would like to table at the event. Since we're postponing that event, I'm going to contact all these groups. You know, we just made the decision today at 1, and I'm in New York and I don't have my computer, but I'll be home Wednesday. So Thursday, I'm gonna contact all these groups again and let them know the event's been postponed. And I'm gonna ask them to instead do the same thing for the June 2nd event. So I will have 12 groups who will share the digital flyer with their email lists, and hopefully 6 groups that will table at the June 2nd event. So, and then the church group that I'm in at my church, was planning to help, with registration and whatever else was needed in May. So we'll just move all that volunteer energy to the June 2nd event. And so that's kind of all I have to report.
Yay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Jackie. Yeah. All right. Does anyone else have any updates they want to share before we move on to the staff updates?
Maybe go back to 5, the planning. You wanna go back up to the discussion for,
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yep, we skipped over number 5, so we'll go back up to planning and remaining action items for June 2nd climate fair event, because we only have one more CCAC meeting before that happens. So
that is
what
correct.
needs to be done? And how can we
You
do
can
it?
Come up since,
Yeah.
Betsy's been doing the heavy lifting on this.
Yeah.
Just.
Actually, Betsy, you wanna come over here, that way the owl. will
Yeah,
pick
you
up
can,
better.
I can scooch.
Actually, don't have any cooties, it's like 6th grade. So you're good.
Can I confer more than
Great, first of all, Jackie, just so you know, we're over the moon to accept whatever planning help that you're willing to give us. So, we're excited about September. And excited about June 2nd, and yeah, let's touch base, and, I can introduce you to my climate intern as well. She's delightful. And we'll try and get some of that, organized. In terms of.
Okay, I'll email you about meeting in person when I get home. Okay,
Yeah, sounds perfect.
all right, that'd be great.
In terms of updates for the event, we have got the website up. The website has a new vendor sign up. So if you send people to the website who might want to do a table or an event or walk on stilts or paint faces, that's the place to go to sign up. All vendors are going to need to fill out a vendor form with for our risk management department, but I don't think it'll be too onerous.
Yeah, and I believe that's the same link I sent to everyone last week. There's a website link, that's the link to sign up
Yeah.
and information. So when you're all talking to groups, you can provide them that email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, so right now it's a very minimalist website. It's just to get vendors signed up. We do have plans to put together another page that has the directions, so how do you get to the event, and then another page with the we put together a zero waste task force. Includes beaten path composting, the repurpose project and zero waste Gainesville, and then some members from the county and the city's waste management team, including the city's director of sustainability. Chief Climate Officer, and then
And
Mike too, and Rick, thank you. So we've got, we're meeting again on Wednesday. Our goal is to put together a list of suggestions to help vendors maintain zero waste. So instead of handing out flyers, here are some other ideas that they can come up with of different funding level, different cost amounts to try and appeal to all the different types of vendors who might want to come out. So that's the website update. We do have a beautiful map now of Tuscaloosa that we are using to sort of identify where the different vendors can set up. And so that we're using that to sort of plan out physically where everything is located. One thing that could be useful feedback, is we're not entirely sure if there's certain categories of vendors that we want to make sure are represented. There are, when you open events up to the public, that especially as the county, then either you let everybody come, or you have certain guidelines for who you're including and who you're excluding. We would like to invite, whoever wants to come, but if we do have too much interest or certain organizations that we don't think represent the county or its mission, I'd be happy to hear if we have ideas on specific groups that we're thinking of. One idea we had was to we're trying to link everything to the climate vulnerability analysis. So taking the different pieces of the analysis, I'm saying we want to have, at least 3 booths that talk about emergency management or flood control. We want at least 3 booths that talk about agriculture and how those are going to be impacted, human systems. So if you guys have any thoughts on what that could look like, that can help inform our outreach as well. Maybe I'll just open that up to thoughts.
One question I have is whether this is the 5 to 8 is designed for family, for kids too, right?
Yeah.
We want it to be a fun, hopeful event. So is there going to be a section primarily targeted for kids and families, or
Yeah, we discussed
vendors
that.
that?
We haven't explicitly laid it out on the map yet.
But we were thinking of grouping the family type of activities together where we actually have games they can play and like things they can learn and do. And we're gonna try to put that all in one place versus what we've been calling, I don't know. We call it the adult section. Is really, it's just things like signing up for weatherization of your house
Right.
and getting information on how to reduce your electric bills and
Right.
just those kinds of things where the kids are like, oh, there's nothing fun there.
Yeah.
We'll go on to the next one. So
Right.
we'll try to group them in so that the family area, there's a lot of things going on where they don't have to pass 4 different booths to get to another one.
Right.
We'll try to put those together.
Yeah.
So far, we have reached out to 4-H, so they're
Mhm.
being actively
Mhm.
involved in our planning committee, which is exciting. We're hoping to have some maybe kid-friendly events.
Yeah.
He mentioned that they had just had a poetry contest where they wrote about trees and things. So we thought, well, maybe there's the small stage out there at Tuscaloosa. They can recite the poetry, and we have our poet laureate that we've invited. We haven't heard back yet, but we're hopeful. So we're trying to, but we're certainly open to different ideas for keeping things fun and engaging, because we've only got a few so far.
I got an idea. I work on Fridays. I volunteer with a program called Creek. It's a Little Orange Creek nature park kind of thing. And I don't know, the people that teach that are kind of busy. They have their fingers in a lot of pies, but I mean, if we give it to them early enough, they might be able to come out and run something for y'all, like a game or 2 or something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
And
that'd be
that's in
wonderful.
Hawthorne, so that's
Yeah, it's so
an area we're trying to
Oh,
focus
yeah,
on.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Too.
Also, I think last weekend, Caring and Sharing School did some kind of event that involved music and performance and dance, and it was just about climate. So, they do great events. It's a elementary school, but they do really good stuff. Maybe we could get them, and then that would add a diversity piece because it is a majority African American school. I'd be happy to talk to them about that.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Have you been in touch with the Museum of Natural History?
No, we haven't.
So the Jarrett Daniels is the lepidopterist there, scientist, but he's working on an event in my work at the university. But they have all kinds of cool, they like traveling events from the Butterfly Museum, and that'd be
Yeah.
cool. They have like a junior certificate program where
We
you
have
know
a
about
butterfly
this?
garden out there.
Yeah,
That would be
so
kinda
that would
neat
be
to-
another good
Yeah, for sure.
person to reach out to. Jarrett, it's Jaret, Daniels, Daniels. And I could ask him about it because they're doing an event on the 29th. Not here though, locally, but they could do like a pollinator butterfly walk or something. I think we talked about this last month, possibly.
Yeah, we've got
But,
the butterfly garden and we've got sort of a nature walk around too. In this case, a butterfly garden would make a lot of sense.
Be kind of cool to
Yeah.
talk about our connections to wild climate
Yeah.
and supporting other forms of life as well.
They might be interested in doing,
Just fun.
yeah, one idea that we had, so the meeting lodge is gonna be about the only place that's air conditioned. We're hoping to get some tents, maybe from the city of Gainesville, to kind of keep the sun off of people, and as it gets later, hopefully it won't be quite as hot. But we do think that the lodge will be popular even after 5 o'clock because it is air conditioned and it's got seating, and so we're planning to have little 10-minute public friendly talks.
I like that.
Yeah, so like
Cool idea.
wildlife or like money matters and
Yeah.
like try and focus on these really specific, very short, let people 5 minutes to ask questions and get up and move around. But yeah, maybe for every hour from when the main group leaves to 8 p.m. And so if there's
Yeah.
people that might be interested that are really dynamic, interesting speakers, then we'd be very interested in seeing if we can line some up.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe with the university, there might be some. It could even be kids like in grad school
Kids.
doing some work.
Yeah.
That'd be good. They want to present, before they have any.
Well, and I wonder if,
You could go to a lot of different departments with that too.
I could
Just like
probably go to the Center for Environmental and Human Toxicology. They do environmental work as well. That's
Yeah.
where I graduated from.
Yeah.
So I
that'd
could
be
go talk to
wonderful.
them and see if anybody wants to maybe participate.
Yeah, that'd be great.
and Jackie, maybe you already talked with her through ECJC, but the Cultural Arts Coalition and Kwanda Ja, if she's not familiar with it yet, with the science bus and all the science programming that they do with kids, like maybe the kids would want to do something to
Yeah.
educate the community, like let the
Yeah.
kids have the stage.
Yeah,
potentially.
that'd be amazing.
I like it. How old?
They're young. I
Yeah.
mean, well, I think she works with like elementary through middle school and possibly even high school.
High school as
High
well, yeah.
school too.
Well, during the year, she has an after-school science program for elementary age kids. And in the summer, she has an internship program for high school kids. They're called environmental ambassadors, and the elementary school ones is science club, and the bus is geared towards the elementary age kids. But yeah, I'm sure she'd be happy to do that. I can ask her if you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Not to
That'd be great.
overlay with too many like kids groups, but there's also stuff with the city, like Morningside Nature Center and staff,
Yeah.
just some really good educators in that
Yeah,
little contingent. Yeah, just say, people there. It will help.
you get sweet dreams of Gainesville there. With popsicles or hippo or.
Yes.
I don't know, something
I know,
soon.
they're doing the thing at the, at First Mag, but I know that there's, Blackadder who likes to do local things as well. Blackadder is a really, really big public supporter group, and they may be interested in doing something like that.
Yeah.
It's just for there?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do, yeah, they allow alcohol at Camp Cascula. They asked on the form and I haven't sent in the form yet because I wasn't sure how many volunteers we might have. I did want to ask the group today, there was some interest last time. So we are looking to thank our volunteers by letting them stay overnight in the cabins. If they're interested, so yeah, if you do have people, then let me know. We kind of need a head count at this point. So Sierra Club has been a great partner. They're rounding up some volunteers for us, but when I asked, they're like, I can't imagine that all the adults would want to stay in the cabins. So I don't know how many of those volunteers I want to, but the thing, maybe 20 or 30 people would want to be in the cabins. So if that's something that you think, people might be interested in volunteering. They basically come, it helps set up, they'd stay overnight and then just do a cursory look around the next day when it's light again and make sure there's not, trash or anything laying around. But that would be kind
Because
of
the camp starts on Monday,
great.
that Monday.
That'd be a good call for the Boy Scouts
Yeah,
It could be
to
4-H.
do scouting or,
Yeah.
yeah,
4-H
yeah,
one.
great.
yeah.
I don't know if the college kids would. Or they can just drive home.
They just,
Oh, they probably,
Oh, yeah.
if there's alcohol there, they would.
yeah.
There's no alcohol
But we don't want this-
yet, unless there's a very enthusiastic vendor that's willing to help push that through.
Fair enough.
It's a lot of big ideas. I have to say, I'm trying to put on my John hat, but local food, highlighting local
Yeah.
food initiatives. I don't know if any of the farmers here, I mean, I don't wanna
It's a farmer's
promote a
market
specific
thing.
farm, but I know
Mm.
several local organic farms that
Yeah.
maybe would wanna table or have like food justice coalition.
What's the garden co-op inside the Greenfield? That place called? Oh, I can't remember. I know they have like farmers markets all the
The
time.
Grace,
Is
is
it
there a Grace?
Is that Grace? So actually, it might be Grace, actually. I can't remember what it is.
Oh, look it up.
And yeah, I think the food is an important key thing, because
Yeah.
when we talk about 20 to 25,000 internally displaced people and climate refugees that we're anticipating, then the food system becomes a really, really important conversation. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're high on our list of not necessarily traditional climate focused organizations, but really important ones to bring into the conversation.
Great. Those enough ideas for you, Betsy?
Yes, yes.
So
no,
now you're
very
gonna get them all
helpful.
done? No, just kidding.
Very
Yeah.
helpful. Well, not just me,
Yeah.
I've got my climate
Yeah,
interns.
Yeah,
So I think one thing that's now, they would try to keep you guys, now that we're literally 6 weeks away.
yeah,
Maybe like in a weekly update, just say, here's what we're doing and here are the things we need this week.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, one of the deadlines is May 8th to have a booth.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
It's
A
actually
single
May
booth or our
5th.
booth?
is it May
oh,
5th?
wow.
Yeah,
Like
because
if you wanna have a booth or you wanna have a vendor, if you wanna be a vendor, then we're gonna have to get them signed in by May 5th.
2.5 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So those are
Okay.
things we really need quickly.
Have you contacted food trucks?
no.
We've been
talked
thinking
about
about
food
that, but we have
trucks.
not contacted them yet. We'll have to figure out.
I called food trucks about an event about a year ago, and they told me they do their schedule a month ahead.
Okay.
So
right.
about which brewery each food truck is at, so it's probably a good idea to put that on the top of the list.
Good suggestion. And does the same hold for music or arts? I mean, like, would they also fall under like vendor if they were?
I'd say probably yes. The reason we've got the May 5th deadline is because
Okay.
on May 8th, we have a meeting scheduled for all the vendors with us and with our zero waste task force.
Okay.
And so the idea is that they can get signed up and then come to this, and this is going to be where we sort of answer all the questions and we help them brainstorm how to make their booth zero waste and sort of provide that feedback. And that's going to be a little less than a month before the event. So if they need to do printing or planning or buying of things, that's enough time to make all that happen. So, you know, if there's a face painter who goes to a bunch of events and has all that handy, you know, we could probably accommodate, but that is it'd be very helpful if we could at least get a large bulk of the vendors by May 5th.
Yeah.
So the website's ready to receive that now.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms of music, we haven't talked about that either, but I would, if we do go with music, I would envision a single band, not multiple bands.
Right.
I think a band play for 2 hours or something like that,
Okay.
you know, 6 to 8 or something.
Mhm.
As a publicity for this, we talked about the Marjorie. Is it gonna be on like Eventbrite or something? We'll see.
So, right now, I've been talking with the communications team. We're going to be putting together a Facebook event. We can get that going right now. They have developed, and, you might have access to some of the flyers or social media posts that, my intern has put together in coordination with the, our communications office. So that's happening.
We'll have press releases that'll go out. We wouldn't put them out now.
I did talk to, so communications
Unless
is
we
willing to
want
put out a
vendor,
vendor
yeah.
specific press release,
That
yeah,
would be good.
right, so they're gonna go ahead and put that. And then I think a
And-
couple weeks prior.
And we have been, when I've been interviewed a few times on climate issues. And those, like the Alligator and WFT and the Gainesville Sun. Have said they will, they'll be mentioning this event. And, just before it happens as well, so, we should have some local advertising going on.
Right, but of course, anybody that wants to push it out through social networks is welcome.
Yeah.
And then another thing that we're trying to nail down, and I got some good feedback today, so it looks like it might be possible, is, we talked about buses. We are gonna get the city's, electric bus is going to be there as a demonstration. They're not going to be able to move, people to and from the event, so bus will be there. We'll get to check it out. It's a really cool experience. Otherwise, the options are we go with the charter bus service, or we fit around with the idea of passenger vans. And the idea of passenger vans is one, the county has a lot of passenger vans already as part of our fleet. As does maybe the city. We asked University of Florida too, and they said that Matt Williams said he would look into that. But the benefit of a passenger van system could be if we had small groups that wanted to self-organize.
From a church or.
Then great, we will, if you want to put, 9 people together, then we will send you a van. Which would be easier to coordinate for us than bus stops, which a bus stop would mean the bus is gonna be here, like get all of your people there. As opposed to vans that we can get to the people, and especially as a countywide event, if there's a bus going up to Waldo or, La Crosse, it's gonna be easier to take that to them. Whereas a full bus, they might not be able to fill up at one of those locations. So I guess I'll throw that out to you all. If you can think of groups that could fill up a van, go ahead and let them know that it looks like that's something the county has done before with like the Citizens Academy.
Yeah, well, county staff will have to drive the county vans, UF staff would have to drive the UF vans, so just. Remind them, we'll have to have staff that can do that, and UF, if they said they had vans, they need to provide people to drive them.
Why are you looking at me? I'm just kidding.
Do my UF.
To go
person
through
right
all
now.
the certification again.
Yeah.
No, I know. I think it's fine. Yeah,
These are small enough,
no, it'd be fine. It's fun to
That's
drive a
cool.
van every now and then.
That's also a big benefit, yes. They're small enough that you don't have to have a CDL
Yeah.
or special
Yeah.
license for them.
Yeah.
So that's, so those are, I think, some of the main updates.
Great.
Yeah, any other,
Yeah.
Great job.
any other thoughts or questions that you all have for me? You're welcome to email me and or Steve or anyone if things come up.
And we will give out some updates this week.
Yeah.
I'll send out the email link again. I'll send out
And
the list that you all are trying to contact, so you have that kind of together.
yeah, and we put together some base language too. I don't know if that got sent around yet. That's just last week.
Don't know if I sent that out to you all. Do you remember seeing some additional language about how to, what to communicate? Yeah.
Nothing additional. But first.
That would be
Nothing
good.
additional?
Okay, yeah.
I don't
I'll get
think,
it.
I will
think-
read the email again.
Yeah.
Okay.
But otherwise.
I was just
Yeah.
looking at all the emails. I didn't see anything like that in there.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Yeah,
can
we'll
move
send that
forward.
around.
We'll send that.
So before we move on, I just want to, so I don't know if you're already planning something like this, but I have a colleague who, through that civic program that we talked about so much, anyway, different community engagement things, it would be so cool to have like a photographer documenting or, okay, so my colleague did this event up in Suwannee County where basically it was just, a fun event, but she had people hold like a whiteboard and say like, what's your favorite thing about our town? Or what's your favorite thing you want to protect? Like, it was just a really fun, simple way to get like citizen feedback on what they value about their community. And it'd be really cool to do something like that for this event, not saying like, what are you afraid is being destroyed by climate change, but like keeping it positive, like what is it that you want to, that you love here, that you want to protect for future generations that you want.
Very cool. I've seen
You know
that at
what I mean?
conferences
Like-
and it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's like a quick, simple, like you can have a prompt or something and have
Yeah.
people either write or kids
Hmm.
could do it, draw art, or I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something that's
You
like
get a big whiteboard and then write in permanent marker, what do you love in Alachua County that you want to protect? And then people can just write it in Sharpie, that way it stays
If you-
forever.
yeah.
We were
Ooh,
talking about sticky
Yeah.
notes. So like having multiple boards sort of around, and then one board can sort of say like, what are your hopes about climate change? And like, what are your fears about climate change?
Cool, yeah.
yeah.
And we'd have one maybe inside and maybe one or two outside. And then we can kind of collect those and make like some word clouds
Mhm.
and sort of see if we can see some themes
I'm
that
just
are.
thinking sticky notes and I'm imagining them all
over the
over the
place.
place.
Well, and I
It was
think having, like, if we could get an artist, so I'm thinking of a couple artists I know here who work with kids, but like, they do like, I forget, there's a name for it, but like visual storytelling where they'll capture events, like as you're having an event, they'll create a big mural
Oh,
on
neat.
paper or whatever, and it, so you kind of have this really nice visual representation of what the day was. So if we could find somebody who'd
That
be
sounds
willing to
cool.
do that, I think that would be really
The only-
engaging for the kids, but also give us like a nice visual piece to come back to as, I'm such a visual person. I feel like we need the artist
No, I
there
agree,
to
it should
like
be
help us.
documented by somebody.
Yeah.
I like the idea.
That would be.
Art piece.
Or maybe it's something kids can just go up to and like, a huge, like basically a mural that they could roll up at the end of the day, a canvas, but like kids could spray paint or write, or,
Whoa.
you know what I mean? Like you could
Bring it
create
back
a
to, like,
piece of
that
art
preschool
during the
day. I
event.
think I did that.
It's so fun. I mean, it's something that people are really drawn to when there is something like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that they're inviting
Yeah.
you to put your hands on it and tell us about your experience. Like,
Yeah,
I just want to throw it out as an idea. And I know a couple artists I could maybe rope into something like that.
no, yeah, absolutely. But if they're interested, let them get in touch
Okay.
and we'll see what we can put together.
When it comes to like like whiteboard, like what are you thinking about? And I was like originally just picturing like usually like an adult or young person
Yeah.
had like with a whiteboard with something to say. And that brought me to like the Humans of Gainesville. I don't know if you've seen that Facebook page.
No.
Mm-mm.
That's cool. I mean, like it's
Like
kind of that
Humans of New
style where you have like just somebody like, "Eh," and then they're like a little info. So that lady's really cool. She might be willing to.
Humans of Gainesville.
Yeah, she might be willing to help with something
I think so,
similar
yeah.
to that.
Yeah, and my colleague, when she did it, it was like, she had these side by side photos. So one was like, what do you love? And the person standing, holding it, smiling. And then like, what do you there were, what are your concerns about development or something of our community? And like, they're
Yeah.
like holding, then,
Right.
here's what I want to, but it's also what I want to protect. Anyway, it's just
Yeah.
neat to have that, and maybe we could do something like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stop now. My,
I had no
Unless
idea this
anyone-
existed. This is very cool.
the Humans of Gainesville.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
that's amazing. Thank you.
Okay, that's all for me.
All
Thank you,
right.
everybody.
Thank you. Think we're ready then? Do we have any other items for June 2nd that we need to
I think that's it.
cover?
Again, we'll try to keep everyone informed, and when you guys do have information, on your contacts, you please email me, let me know. I have been keeping track of that spreadsheet and what responses we've been getting, so. I'll try to keep that updated and, if you have any updates you want to, just send them my way and I'll keep going with that.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so staff updates. Number
So I
seven.
guess I'll go. Just a reminder, we will only have one more meeting before our event. That's May 15th. Just maybe of interest, the county commission will be getting a presentation on the vulnerability analysis on May 23rd. So it'll probably be, very similar to the presentation we'll be getting on June 2nd, although that June 2nd one may be less technical. It might be trying, really communicate with the community and really talk about the results and impacts we're expecting to experience versus maybe some of the more technical side that the board might be interested in knowing what models were used to come up with the strategies and so on. So,
Sorry, tell me the date again.
that'll be
The
on May-
county's getting the
that-
update. May
yeah, May
20
23rd at the
okay.
it's a regular county board meeting on a
Okay.
Tuesday. Don't know yet when. It'll be sometime in the afternoon.
Okay.
Is that a joint city-county board?
No, that is just the county commission.
Just the county commission. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And just an update for the board members. 3 board members do have their end of, they finish their terms this August. And so we usually advertise openings. And this August, that's Nathan, Terry, and John will have their end of terms. So if any of them are interested in renewing, please look for a press release and I'll let you guys know at our May meeting next week that we'll have press releases going out in June. You can reapply. There's no limit to reapplying. Now the board likes to allow new members to come in, but some of you, Terry and Nathan, you only had 1-year terms anyway. So because you're replacing people who left the board early. So, that you'd probably be able to get on again, knowing how short your tenure was. So please consider that option. In addition to that, Carly is, I believe, not on the board anymore. So there is a vacancy already available, and that vacancy, what you do is you fill her position until it ends. So there's probably another 2 years or 1 year on her. So I'll have all that information. So there'll be opportunities for new citizens to get on the board, as well as, and if you're interested in renewing, and then the joint county city water climate board will make the selections at their August meeting.
Okay.
So I'll keep everyone updated, but I did want to start you all thinking about that. And if you have people who would fit well on this board and have expressed interest or might be interested, let them know as well. But I'll let everyone know next month.
Thank you.
Betsy, did you have any other county? Okay. Turn it over to the city. And
Hi, good
Hi.
evening. My name is Dan Zhu, Chief Climate Officer for the City of Gainesville. So for the city, we have 5 steps towards the climate action plan and implementation. Right now, we are on stage 1, which is focused on data collection and coordinating between different departments within the city as well as with the county. So with the county right now, we are focusing on locating a suitable platform for the carbon tracking platform. We have been locating a couple options. This Friday, city and county staff, we will have a discussion to determine like a brainstorming which one would be the most suitable one to pursue. And as we progress through each stage, I will keep you guys posted.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. There's no cootie.
Yeah, I know, right?
Would you say?
I said to prove there's no cootie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me.
Yes, scooch
It's been me the
further.
whole time.
It's gonna follow you. Okay, so for GRU, we have our stakeholder advisory group meeting next Wednesday. Don is the official representative from this group. We also have Betsy and Dan who are going to be a part of that as well. And that same Wednesday, the 27th, whenever next Wednesday is, I can't remember the date now. We're having a community outreach event to the general public that same evening. At, I believe it's from 6 to 8, I want to say. But if you are interested or you know anyone that is interested, please get that information and pass that information along to them. And both of those meetings are going to be at the GRU building in the multi-purpose room. Grants, we are working on pursuing a number of grants for one was for grid resiliency that we submitted the week before last. It's about $56 million to help with the resiliency of the electric grid, helping to upgrade, replace, add features and quicker recovery for the electric grid. We're also pursuing a DOT charging and fueling infrastructure grant. We're going to partner with the city and possibly the county to do that. And so Dan is a part of that discussion as well, to pursue some of that money. And it's really just charging infrastructure and being able to put that in. So that grant is due, I think, May 30th. So lots of work to be done between now and then. Continuing work on our EV steering committee, working with the city. And we're meeting actually with Gerald Bailey from the county this week and talking about a possible coalition there. But working with, I'm saying your name a lot, Dan. You're just involved in a lot of that. Working with that group to, number one, kind of establish the baseline and how many vehicles are available, and what will be the process of converting those either to hybrids, plug-in hybrids, EVs, and starting that conversion. So a lot of it's got to be data driven, and so we're in the process of gathering a lot of that data and setting up the baseline for that right now. And the last thing is we're taking the Origin Solar contract back to the City Commission this Thursday for approval, for final approval. So if they approve it, then we go forward. If they don't approve it, then we likely move on. That's dead, and then we do something else.
You open it up for bids or?
We'll have to
I
start the
mean,
process all
just-
over
yeah.
if we decide to do that. So
Okay.
we've been working on this one in some iteration or another since summer of 2019. So it'll probably be another 18-month to 2-year process to get it to final and actually maybe get some things moving. So that's all I've got.
I had a question about the committee, the integrated resource plan, and John's available. I mean, we elected him to be the representative, and I just know he's got so much on his plate. I mean, did we decide if there's an alternate, if we
I think
go
you're
through a
volunteering.
process?
Are you
Well,
we
volunteering?
were not able to find an alternate who was available.
We were not, and I know last month, they were not in the notes, but we did, you gave us all the dates that they were meetings. I
Yeah,
don't
those
think they were in
meeting
the
dates have actually shifted. There were some
Okay.
conflicts later down the road, so we actually shifted a few of those dates.
notes. Okay,
Get back to.
because I want to come back to that and
Monday.
have us all check our calendars. I mean, like, I would love to do it. I just need to cross-check, because when I looked at those dates originally, I was like, I can't do
have the
it.
original dates in my notes in
Yeah.
my office, but if you said they've changed.
They have, and I'm trying to get to. Schedule. There we go. About technology. All right, so the first stakeholder meeting, is. is the 27th. It's next Thursday. The second one is June 7th. The third meeting is July 26th. So what we tried to do is, because our consultant is traveling, we tried to consolidate them to the same day.
Okay,
So there were a couple of instances where there was like 2 weeks in a row. And so there's no need for them to travel 2 weeks in a row. So we consolidated those dates.
okay,
So that's why some of these are shifting.
okay.
So it's 7/26, July 26th is the third meeting. The fourth meeting is September 6th for the stakeholder advisory group. And the last one in December is actually moving it from December to January 10th. When we looked at the December 19th date, there was a couple of conflicts, and then we think, well, are people gonna be gone and what have you, so we just decided to be safe and move it to January 10th.
So it's those 5 days that,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
And this is happening during the day or in the evenings?
It's happening during the day, during lunchtime,
Okay.
And lunch will be provided.
and lunch will be provided, correct?
There's that.
We found it's mirroring a similar process that went that JEA did in Jacksonville, and they found that the lunchtime was, especially for a lot of different people, was kind of the best and easiest time. And of course, you bring people in during lunch, and unless you want them there hangry, you kind of have to feed them. So
It's an hour long.
gotta feed them.
it's an hour and a half.
That may be why people are more likely
Are
to come at
these-
lunchtime.
Are these all Thursdays?
I'm not sure what days they are, but
Um,
I think one of them is on a Wednesday. A couple of them are on Wednesdays, actually. Yeah. So the first one's on a Thursday, and the next three are on Wednesdays. It looks like.
Okay. Thank you for that update.
And so the community outreach is going to be the 27th, next Thursday in the evening. And then July 26th in the evening, and then January 10th in the evening. And we'll have other meetings as other opportunities come up in between to do public outreach and get feedback. We're doing an internal employee campaign, so we're going to different, areas and safety tailgates and all that, and giving them updates on the IRP and giving them an opportunity to give feedback as well.
Could I ask two questions? One is only one, okay.
No.
Right before you started talking about this, you said something, and we'll have to start this whole process over again. And it was real garbled right before you started that. What was that related to?
That was related to the Origis contract.
That's what I was afraid of. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. And thank you for the excellent presentation you did for the city commission about that. The other question I had is, I've been told by friends that there's going to be this Friday at 6, the city commission is going to be talking about the Chuck Clements bill that GRU be given to the state. Do you know anything about that?
I can confirm that is true. That's about all I know about it. It'll
Okay.
be a town hall type meeting, I guess, in city hall.
Is it just to get public input?
That's my understanding, is that it'll be open to the public to provide feedback. They've invited the local delegation to attend. I'm not sure if they will or how many will attend. But that's the idea, is for the opportunity to give community feedback.
Okay, thank you.
So I just this week have been like, I'm saying no to things. However, I just checked those dates and I'm available all of them except for possibly April 20 next week. To do serve as an alternate.
Okay.
If John and the committee is okay. If
Absolutely.
nobody else wants.
Yeah.
So
I know there's a nuance to it, right? You want either you do them all or
Or
John
do-
attends them all.
yeah.
You can't pick.
It can't be
turns.
either,
Right.
So,
but the alternate is if John can't make it.
correct. So I know
Right.
John is very familiar with IRPs. And this
Yeah.
first one is just gonna be, what is an IRP? Kind of what the background and the goal and why are we doing it now kind of thing, right? So, I have no doubt that John can kind of pick up second meeting and kind of run with it after that.
Yeah,
But whoever attends the second meeting kind of has to go the rest of the way, because that's when you really get into the meat of it.
okay,
And so that's all I'd ask. If you want to attend the first meeting as an alternate and then John picks up, and that's fine. If you want to go all the way through, then that's fine, but
I think I
after that
just,
second meeting,
yeah.
you
Oh,
you
yeah.
really gotta
It has
stick
to
with it.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he was hoping we'd have someone in case.
Is it
he's
online?
Intending to be there, but he can't for some reason, and
Yeah.
someone needs to step in and.
Is it online or is it in person? Oh, it's in person because there's lunches,
in
huh?
It's in person.
So I have to dress nice.
You don't have to dress nice.
I'll do it if nobody else wants
Yeah.
to. I don't have anything going on. I'm done. I mean, if I get what I want, I'm gonna be here for remote jobs. So I'll have my own schedule to do it. Like I'll be able to run my
Yeah.
own schedule.
Well, I think we'd have to put it to John.
Yeah, of course,
I mean,
of
that's
course.
just
I'm saying
let
I'm
him
willing to
know.
put
I
myself
just-
out there.
No, he,
And if
A
John
little.
can't, I can do all of them.
and I nominated him last meeting, and then afterward, I was like, I'm so sorry. Cause I know how much he has on his plate, and I know he's the best in terms of his experience, and not like we want him to be there, but.
I guess I'm
someone
just
who's
thinking that-
overcommitted, like I can see,
Yeah.
I don't want him to,
Right.
and depending on how he's doing this week, anyway, I just wanted to have a plan, like sort of plan. to-
So I can let
Communicate
him
with
know, I
him,
can
yeah.
communicate that there are
Alternates.
alternates available. And to see if that's, based on his, situation, whether he feels that is a smart thing to do.
Okay.
I'm just thinking that my plate is suddenly very open for a while, and if I have stuff already planned. And I have my preferences, a remote job, I'll be able to plan my own schedule anyway, so this can just be a priority. So if it's helpful, I'm available. I was like, don't do it, don't do it.
I would defer to you first, but.
Yeah, just let us
Yeah,
know.
hey, let Steve, yeah.
Or Steve,
No,
however,
Yeah.
however you communicate, just let us know that.
Yeah.
So we sent out the first one, meeting invite. I think did it come to the climate?
Yeah, the
It
climate
did.
change did come through there, yeah.
Okay, it did. So that's the email address we have for this group. So we'll continue to communicate through
Okay.
that.
Okay,
Cool.
then I'll make sure then when I'm getting those, and I'm communicating that to the member and the alternates.
Perfect.
thank you. Any other questions for Eric? Thank you. That was nice and short and sweet.
I did want to just welcome, and Ellen, I apologize, but she gave a lot of good suggestions,
Mhm.
in this Q and A for some of the ideas. So I went ahead and wrote them down. Sue Blyce and her, the Star Children's Theater as one of those groups that can speak, reaching out to ACT, Climate Action Challenge the Girl Scouts have.
Mhm.
That's another group and it's great to give the contact for these as well, along with Climate Action Gators. And then maybe someone who could give information about the, the funds available from the federal government. And it looked like she was working on that, so I just apologize, I didn't see that until I looked down and saw that, so, thank you for those suggestions.
Thank you, Ellen.
Really great.
Those are good.
You're welcome.
I don't know, I didn't see if that's in the list, but maybe the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy might be a possibility for giving updates on the IRA. We ready to move on to item number 8? everyone okay? Yes. So number 8, suggest items for the next regular meeting on May 15th and future meetings. Do we already have items that are set for the agenda on?
We do not have
We do
any
not,
set
okay.
items for next month.
Well, I mean, I imagine it would just be mostly making sure everybody's brought up teeth and ducks in a row and whatnot, raised for ready. That'll be mostly it, right? Ready for the summit?
Yeah, wonder if we could have kind of some of the leaders who are organizing, like in the Sierra Club and others kind of attend and really kind of have a workshop on how it's all setting up.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
even, when we're sending out, follow-ups to all these organizations, just say like, just so you know, we're gonna have a meeting. Public meeting.
Right,
Yeah.
Come on in. We're gonna be talking about you guys.
and it's a little bit earlier than normal in the
Yeah.
month. You know,
Yeah.
it's the 15th, so that actually gives us full 2 weeks.
Our vendor list should be finalized,
Yeah.
and then,
Be like an all hands on deck final planning workshop. Could we do it as a workshop? I'll be virtual. I
Yeah.
imagine others would be virtual, but we can,
I don't see any needs for motion
yeah.
when we're just planning and organizing and good, throwing out ideas, kind of like a lot we did today, and who was gonna do what. I don't think any of that requires.
Okay.
You know, Dan, if you think anything you want to bring next month in particular, it's probably a little early for anything substantial.
We might be able to have an idea which tracking platform that
That would
the
be great.
entity wants to pursue. Maybe we can have an update or discussion next time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I can add that.
with the June meeting, we'll have finished up the climate fair.
Mhm.
So maybe at the workshop, we can also talk about success metrics that we might wanna track.
Mhm.
The June one. And, you know, my vision, moving forward from this event would be to start developing the climate action plan materials and organizing that, and we're collecting data. That's when I think we'll really start kicking into these categories of the climate action plan, and that with the idea that I'm hoping that we'll have a draft climate action plan next year, that our climate summit, instead of a fair, might be a true summit this time, we'll actually be releasing that draft for the public. I doubt we would have it adopted by then, but I think it would be a great time to kind of release the draft of what we're thinking and really have an engaged opportunity, for the public to understand what it is we think, we're gonna have in that action plan.
When
So
would we do that?
that would be next year's
Oh,
event. Yeah, so between, this June and probably more like the fall of next year, we'll be working on developing that climate action plan and getting input from you all on, the areas that we're targeting, identifying, and maybe even utilizing a platform.
And this is post vulnerability analysis that we present to them.
Yeah, so this event, we're releasing, we're giving information about the vulnerability analysis.
Right,
Which is,
that's like the primary.
that's what we can anticipate happening in our community and the effects we're gonna feel.
Right.
The plan will then address how we're gonna handle that, how we're gonna address that, both mitigation and adaptation
Right.
components would be in that action plan.
Nice, cool, okay, thank you.
So related to that, or I'm not sure how it's related, the causal platform that we all
Yes.
heard about, are there any updates related? to
Yeah,
that
so-
from the joint water policy?
Yeah, at the Joint Water and Climate Policy Board, we did announce that we aren't gonna be moving forward with Cosmos.
Oh,
And so that is why we're gonna gather this week and we're gonna
okay,
come up with strategies on what platform we will use.
okay.
Oh, you said you're not going to?
Right,
Not, and that was the joint, and
joint water and climate.
John
policy.
was presented at that,
John presented during that meeting,
during
not on
that
that
meeting
top.
prior to,
Yes.
yeah, okay, but they made the decision at that meeting,
Yeah,
okay,
they all agreed to not move
okay,
forward.
okay, thank you.
What was what was the justification?
I know the city, there was concerns with it being, hadn't been used much in the States yet. You know, in the United States, it hadn't had a whole lot of use. There was some concerns with security and the connection with organization that's in Europe. So there were some combinations of IT security issues as well as a lack of use yet in the US. So we'll
Okay.
try to, come up with a bunch of other possibilities and city and county staff will kind of go through those and then we'll be coming back to you all.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they covered it, right? That was.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I just was, where did that fit in? I couldn't remember. Okay, so are there any other items for next month or future that we want to add? Otherwise, we will. If there are none, we will move on for the meeting recap from James.
Yep, so we have that Steven's gonna communicate to John Nix that we have at least 2 alternatives for the. Workshop that's gonna be led by GRU. Let's see. Okay, so we have that. Right, so we have on May, just then another announcement that on May 23rd, there's gonna be a board meeting to discuss the vulnerability analysis. Jennison, you said that you were gonna contact Gareth Daniels, over at the National History Museum, about possibly being involved with the climate fair. Jackie was gonna reconnect with the groups. I don't know if she's no longer on the call. But anyways, to say out loud, she's gonna reconnect with those groups that were gonna do the NAACP event to see if they'll participate with the climate fair. Stephen Hofstetter, you're gonna resend the spreadsheet because some of us have not done our homework. And those of us who have not done their homework have agreed to stepping up their efforts and yeah, I'll be the first to say that was including me. And that's it.
All right. So I think we can move on to public comment.
I want me to open it. We don't have
Do we
any
have
public
any-
in the audience, so
Oh.
I will allow. If any of the people on Zoom would like to speak, if you could raise your hand, I'll unmute you.
You gotta raise the hand there.
Yeah, Nadi's had.
Cause I was saying that we have.
Yeah, Terry.
Ellen, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Just again, appreciate the energy you are all showing, and I think it's going to be an amazing climate fair. And thanks for the work you're doing as volunteers. Not so easy to fit it in on everything else. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen, for always being present with us.
You've got some more in the Q and A.
Oh, yeah, there's.
Oh, that was Terry. The Q and A is the original ones that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Any other, Bob or? Well. Speak now or forever hold your peace, and we will. Adjourn if there are no other public comments. Thanks, everyone. I think this is a record.